Make sure we're in frame. Get my hose out of the way. I'm going to sit in front of this camera for a second and make all adjustments. So this way we're on the money as far as the painting goes. We're going to paint these two masks. One is going to be, it figures. Gotta wait for that air compressor to shut off so I can talk. Man, I don't like the light. I think what I'm gonna do, Crusher, are you on? Somebody's on. I'm gonna go grab my my little spotlight so I can put light on the faces. The sunlight and back, I can't do anything about it because there's sunlight in every direction here. I have sunlight on all angles of this porch. So I'm in the shade and I can't have these masks in the direct sunlight. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go grab my little tripod light and plug that in and put a nice forward light on these masks. We are painting these, and today I'm just doing the base coat of the flesh tone, and then I'm going to do the white spray. Now, as you can see right over here, I'm using a big air gun, a big spray gun. There's no point to try to use your airbrush, because first of all, when you're using the airbrush, you have to use mask latex. I like using the airbrush on with, like, you know, the finishing touches, but I'm not real good with airbrushing, so most of my work, the devil's in the details, so to speak, is going to be hand painted by hand brush. And that's all the washes. That's where this comes alive. The base coats do not make this mask. You have your flesh tone, and then you have your white paint over top, and then the magic starts. Now, my brother wants a Halloween 2 1981, so this front mask is the big mask. So we're going to make that into a 1981 Halloween 2, and the small one will be the original 78 paint scheme. So they're going to be two different paint schemes, but the base coat is still the same. Where the magic happens is all the washes. That's how you change the color of the mask. A little bit of that yellow look to it. I'll go through all this once I get to that point. I have my acrylics. I use acrylic paint for my washes, and I use distilled water, a little bit of distilled water in the acrylics to give it the wash, and then depending on the depth of color I'm trying to achieve will vary the thinning out of the paints, the acrylic paints. So let me go get my light while you guys are sitting there waiting patiently for me to do this. I'm going to put the light on the front so you can see what's going on, because there's too much light in the background to really see the details that will go into the paint job. This will be part one, because I'm only going to paint the flesh and the white, and then I have to let that dry. That won't take but a couple hours, and then I'll come back and I'll start doing the washes. But first off, I don't even have any paint in my spray gun yet, but I'm going to go get that light, which is right around the corner. Be right back. I'm back. Let me set this up. Make sure we're getting good light on the masks. And I gotta have a place for my yeah, hold on. Gotta get my extension cord over here. Always something. Yeah, I figured I'm going to do these 2 masks. Let me see what that looks like. Yeah, it's not casting a lot of light. Let's see. Can I get it closer? Well, first of all, the masks are going to be separated. This. The reason why I got it so like that is I put the flush tunes up underneath the neck, and it's blocking the damn camera. Sorry. I have to put the flush tunes underneath the neck, under the chin, into the crevice, into the nose area. I'm using a big sprayer, so it doesn't matter whether it gets all over everything else. It really doesn't. But I'm generally just hitting that in the ears. You'll see. So, let me try and get this to where this is closer. I don't want to be tripping over this light. In the neck because of this. I can't stand the backlight. Now you'll notice to the right, I have a little bit of I have a 5-gallon bucket of water that's going to be for cleaning my air gun. And I'm done. And the details will all be painted with washes. So the first thing I got to do is load this thing up with a little bit of paint. Don't have to be a lot. Just a little. Oh yeah. Flesh tone. Now this is mask latex that I make. All right, it's 3 parts. 1 part distilled water, 1 part household, regular household flat paint, whatever color that you're trying to paint, and 1 part mask latex. It's very important. Make sure it's well shook. I already broke the caps because they were literally stuck on there because of the latex. It's in them. And what I don't use, I'll pour right back into the bottle. Now this stuff lasts forever. I've had this, as you can see, there's a little discoloration here. That's because the paint and the mask latex always wants to separate. All right, so you got to make sure that you shake this up really well. And because it's so thin, you'll never have a problem with it drying out. So we're going to put that on there like that. Put that over. And now I got to test this to make sure that I'm not spraying too harshly. I'm going to make sure that I don't have too much paint coming out here. I think it'll be all right. I like to do this sitting down because I don't want a ton of color. My feet are caught up. Hold on. Okay, so to prevent getting both masks done at one time, which I'm not trying to do, I'm going to slide this bigger mask out of the way. And we're just going to work one mask at a time here. And I want it facing me and the camera if I can help it. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to it don't matter. I got to get it into the lips and underneath the nose and into the eye crevices, especially into the details. Into the eyebrows. You're pretty much painting the whole face. And then the back of the neck has to be done. I should turn down the pressure. I don't paint the top of the head, there's no point to it. Gotta make sure that under the neck is done well. Okay, we don't want any runs, so I'm not going to overspray this. Make sure I get the ear good. That's a nice flesh tone, it really is. It's a real nice flesh tone. I'm gonna let that dry. Move this over here. Hopefully I'm in frame still. You guys are seeing what I'm doing here. All right, this guy's a little crooked. This is a thicker mask too. This is a big mask. This is my brother's. And that's a little too close. Some people like to just use pencil. Ooh, I got some running. I didn't realize. Should have took my glasses off. Okay. And of course, oh no. It don't matter because it's a little bit of how to fix that and get any runs like that. Just take a little spoon, just touch the area where it's a little oversaturated. Little spray sponge, ain't no big deal. Got to remember, once all this gets painted white anyway, where there was a couple runs. So, yeah. Now I got to make sure I get, let's see now back here. Don't want runs, that's for sure. All I'm doing is just touching it. It gives it a little variation in the color, which is okay. A little touch there. That's good enough. Now we gotta wait a good hour, maybe a little less, give or take. This will dry up nice. Some people paint differently. Some people, there's no need to paint the top because you're gonna paint this all what you, and I'm gonna do a down wash with the paint job, with the white. It's gonna be all sprayed downward, but this has to be completely dry. It'll dry a little darker than what it is, but not much darker. Just make sure. Yeah, we're okay. We're all right. Let's see what happens. I'll sit and talk to you guys for a few minutes, and then I'll probably go on to part two. Once I thought maybe part one would be all together, but I forgot. This is going to take time to dry. So, and it's pretty humid out here. Let me undo this phone. All right, say hello. Ooh, I guess you guys aren't saying much. All right, so this is going to be at least I'd say a good 20 minutes. How do you like this mask? Hola, Fernando. Glad you dig it, man. Yeah, this is the large mask. This is my brother's. And then that's the small one. Now the mask looks a little narrow, and that's only because it's sitting on top of a small styrofoam with plastic covering it, dome underneath the head. So it's making it elongate a little bit, kind of like the Nick Castle stretch. So, yeah, this is part one of a two-part of just putting your base coat. Your base coat, I just sprayed the flesh tone, and this is the latex. I know now I'm getting more people on, so I have to. And I used a big air gun. I use a big spray gun like this. It's cheap. I don't use my airbrush for latex paint because it really clogs them. It messes the airbrushes up really bad. The only time I ever use my airbrush is when I'm using inks or things of that nature. Now this is wet right now. That has to dry, and it'll dry to a flat color. It won't. It looks good. I think it looks awesome. Now, getting back to the paint, it's 3-part mix, equal parts. No matter how much you're making, you want to make 3-part mix. 1, distilled water. 2, house latex paint. All right, flat house latex paint. Make sure it's flat. Don't have any glosses in it. That would not work well. And mask latex. Just 1 part distilled water, 1 part house latex mask, or house paint, latex paint, and 1 part mask latex. That's what you want in there. And how I usually put my mixture together is I'll always put the thinner stuff in the bottle first. I'll start with the water, then I'll add the second part house latex paint, then I'll add the latex mask because latex mask. Mask latex because the mask, I can't speak today. What the hell is wrong with me? The mask latex is extremely thick, all right? And the what do you call it? The water's the thinnest. The house latex paint is a little bit, less thick than the mask latex. So, like I said, thinnest first, and then you can shake it up real good, and they'll give you your blend. But this is, now let me go show you the different washes that I'll be using with acrylics. I have acrylic paints, and it's not expensive paint. You just go to Michael's and you pick up this stuff. And there's my little container that I got a couple of those containers I'll be doing that mix with. And I put everything over here. All right. So, this is my white paint right here. All right. This is my rubbing alcohol, 99% pure alcohol. I've got my spray bottle of water. And these are the paints that I'll be using today. The Mars Black I like to use because it's not quite a real dark black. But I'll use a mix of raw sienna, all right, and I'll mix a little bit of yellow ochre. And I'll mix these two together, and that will be the wash. And remind you, it's only a wash. It'll be the wash for my Halloween 2, 1981, because the Halloween 2 had a little bit of a yellow tint to it, had a little bit of yellowing to it. Some say there's some green in it. Some say, I'm just going to stick with the yellow. And you only use this as a wash, so you're not talking about putting like this color on the face. You're only washing it. So then the black is all the deep details, and I do a light dry brush with that. And also right around the eyes, eye cutouts. That gets a dark ring, around the edge of it, which you'll see that process. So, yeah, this is where we're at with this. I got my little cups behind here for that, for the paints, the rubbing alcohol. That'll rub out any of the that'll rub out the latex. Now the other thing I have to do, and I'll show you this real quick, is I'm going to, let me see how this dries up first before I empty this out and then put the white in there. I have to clean it. I'm going to explain it because I'm not going to show you how to clean an airbrush, a paint can. What I'll do is I'll dump the remaining, if these turn out okay, I'll dump the remaining of the flesh tone back into my bottle right here. Then I'll take this part. When this is off, I'll take this part, leave the air on it, and I'll stick the nozzle down inside the bucket of water here, and I'll spray it until it's completely clear water coming out of the spray gun. And then, because you got to remember, this line gets paint in it. This is actually pretty clean. So, but I didn't paint a lot, so I'm not painting a lot of things here. I'm just painting the two masks. So then you clean that part, and then you just wash out your container. It's that simple. I'm not going to bother with that because I have to wait. Oh, what's this? I got a bug that landed on the nose. That's all right. I'll be able to get that off. Love the gnats, don't you? Yeah, it's the problem with being outdoors. So it happens, and it's a hot, humid day today. It's really hot. Well, I mean, it's not real hot, but it's hot enough. So, yeah, I'm a little foggy today. I had too much of the wacky weed last night, only because my back was killing me. So I did quite a bit, and I think that's affecting me a little bit today. But I'm not in pain. That's a good thing, So, yeah, this is the Night Creeper 1978. And we're just waiting for this to dry so I can move on. I got to be able to see how this looks. Yeah, I can't stand that. Bug's driving me. The bug that's sitting on there on the nose, on the bridge of the nose, is ticking me off. Why did you land there, stupid? Anyway, let me see if I can fix that real quick. Take that gnat out of there. That little gnat. See him? Right there. Pain in the neck. All right, so I got my little pen here. Pipe Master, what's happening? We are painting this mast today. Give me a second here. I'm doing quite a few things today I'm going to put on camera. I'm actually going to dye the hair that I got that came in the mail. So I can get this out of here. Oh, you know what? That's not a good idea because that's going to be dark paint on there. Let me find something else sharp. This'll do. I'll just use the corner of this thing. Really? Oh, I'm going to have to touch that up. Yeah. He's off of there. But there. Boom. Done. Now a little hair got on the cheek. Oh boy. Being outside sucks. I wish I had a garage where I could really, I mean, that back one there, I want to try and refurbish this winter, one way in the back. And we're going to tear out all the sheetrock and gut it. I'm going to turn that into my shop back there. It was a shop originally, and then somebody needed storage space, and they put stuff back there, and that stuff's going now, so. Why is that so? Let me try something here. I don't like the way this is looking. I don't like the way that looks. It's a little rough. A little too much paint right in here. Which I don't care because that gets painted white anyway, so it's not like it matters. I think it's painted white in there anyway, so. The only thing that stays flesh tone is underneath the nose and the lips and the eye sockets right in here. A little bit into the eyebrows too. But not that much. Yeah, that one's, look at that. It's already starting to dry. See how matted that's looking? Let me see, this is still wet. Let's pull this forward. This is drying. Hold on. I'm trying to do this with my hands too, and that's not cool. Yeah, see how it's starting to get nice and matted now? You know, the color really hasn't changed. It didn't really darken that much. It's a good looking mask, it really is. I'm happy with it. I'm very happy with how it turned out. Very happy. Yeah, now that's the small mask. I did that one first. That's why it's dry already. So, all right, I'll come back in about 20 minutes for part 2. All right, guys? Part 2. First part, flesh latex. We got the flesh on here. The second part will be the white. And then the third part will be starting the details on how to paint this, all the details into the mask. And that I hand paint that. I don't like to use an airbrush. I don't know, there's something about an airbrush that just doesn't give it that real good wash look. Doesn't give it that real, I don't know, it just doesn't look authentic with an airbrush. I love airbrushes for a lot of things, but not for this mask. And since I'm just doing, why is that running there? Hold on. I'm digging this in here. Yeah, I'll have to touch that up. That's okay. No biggie. Oh, that flesh tone's nice. It really is nice. Okay, I got to touch this corner up right here. That's enough. And I might as well touch that up too, since I took all that paint off of there. That'll be good. There you go. To take that hair off of there, that's going to tick me off. Man, oh man. Can't win. How that happened. Looks like an eyelash. You don't have any eyebrows. Oh, that actually did it, and it didn't make a mark. I love it. Took it right off of there. Okay, so what are we talking about here? Yo! Yeah, the flesh tone's on here. And my flesh tone, I like to use a burnt umber. A burnt umber, kind of like close to burnt umber. I use a little bit of, I use a little bit of red paint. I throw it in with the burnt umber. And what else do I add? If it needs to be yellowed down a little bit, like a little touch of yellow, I'm sorry, not burnt umber, burnt sienna. Burnt sienna is what I like to use. Burnt sienna with a little bit of red. And it gives it a nice tone. And once again, it's all about experimental. The flesh tones are nice. I don't care I like using the big sprayer for this kind of thing because you're just putting the base coats down. That's it. You're not overspraying, you're just putting a base coat, and this is mask latex. I do not use mask latex for washes because what happens is when you try to dry brush mask latex on there, forget about it. It literally just, whatever goes on there stays on there. You can't rub it off. I would always use just acrylics for your washes. Never use mask latex paint for your washes and stuff. So, head looks a little pointy because of the thing that it's sitting, the underneath piece. It's holding it up there for me. And I had to wait a while for these things to really cure up enough to where they're, man, they're going to look good. They're going to look real good. Kind of admiring it just the way it is now. A lot of you guys come on. You guys said, "Oh man, wait till the paint goes on there. It's going to look amazing." You know what? I think you're right. I think you might be right. So we'll see. Just got to let it dry nice, and then we'll start the next part. All right, so let me come back in about a half hour, 45 minutes. I want to make sure that this is good and dry before I try to paint the white on, because that white is important. So I'll see you guys in about a half hour to 45 minutes. Just look for the video. It'll be on. Even if you don't catch me live, I upload the videos right away, you know, so sometimes it takes some time to upload them, but they'll be up. They'll be up soon enough, and you'll be able to catch it from the beginning. Sometimes you guys come on a little late, and I don't wait too much. I don't wait for people because I should, baby, but I don't. I kind of jump right into it. Because sometimes when you're messing with paint, you really can't wait around for people to jump on. And I don't know why, but it seems like guys aren't getting notified like real fast. You're getting notifications like a little late. But this is where we're at. We have the part one. I had to put the light out here so you can see this because there's too much bright light in the background. It's drowning out. It just makes this real shadowy looking. So I had to put light on the front of the masks so you can see it. Yeah, it's drying up. It's drying up. That's nice. That's already kind of dry. It's not quite where I want it to be, though. I want to wait about a half hour to 45 minutes. So, okay, I'll see you guys in a few. This is part one of a 3-part paint. I don't know. It might be 4 parts by the time it's done. But part one is the flesh tone. Part two is the white. And then we start doing the washes and the acrylics. And that'll be part 3. And then depending on how far into it I get with that, then we end up going into possibly a part 4 on painting a Michael Myers mask. Okay, guys. And I'll see you guys in a half hour to 45 minutes, maybe an hour. I don't know. I have to really check this latex real good before I go and try and spray it. I don't want no runs, anything that's on the mask. I want to get it off. That might be on there. I don't think I see any runs. It looks pretty good. I got all the runs off, so that's a good thing. I didn't spray a heavy coat. The spray was cut back on this quite a bit. I made sure that there wasn't real heavy paint coming out of there. So I'll see you guys in about 45 minutes for sure. I'll see you. Bye.